We could be set in for a long winter.
Yeah, in these uncertain times and trying times,
Yes.
we need relief.
Yes.
Mental relief.
Yes.
Who do we turn to? The one and only Mike Polk to make us feel better.
Well, we all just experienced another fairly dismal loss by our Cleveland football team yesterday. It was a game we were favored to win against a bad team, missing two of their best players and led by a journeyman quarterback who's really starting to resemble Weird Al Yankovich, let's just say it. So that's not great. It was also another game where the universe offered Cleveland multiple opportunities to secure an ugly victory in spite of their performance, with the Browns politely declining that offer repeatedly. In other words, it was what should have been, for lifelong Browns fans like myself, yet another demoralizing loss that causes despondence while watching it, with a persistent sense of post-loss gloom carrying over and lingering with me today. But what's kind of unique about this latest Browns loss is that I wasn't particularly upset during the game, and I'm not feeling very bummed out right now. To be honest, I'm not feeling too much of anything about yesterday's game, and that's not good. There's an old saying, hate is not the opposite of love, apathy is. It might sound counterintuitive, but it's actually healthy to hate your football team sometimes. Because in order to get angry with them, you have to first be invested. You have to care enough about them and expect enough from them to become disappointed. Having an angry fan base is not ideal, but it's much better than having an indifferent fan base. That's just one step away from not having one at all. Historically speaking, that collective sense of resignation by the fans typically occurs much further into the season. I mean, it's not even October. It's 70 degrees and I'm wearing a t-shirt. Even during some of the worst seasons in the past, the fan base at least hung in there until sweater weather before reaching this level of detachment. So why are we throwing in the emotional towel so early this year? Here, take a look at how the Browns have fared in their first 4 games since returning in 1999. As you can see, it's never been good. We've never started 4-0. We've started 3-1 twice, 0-4 5 times, with the remainder being other forms of bad. But throughout all of those trying and tedious starts, this fan base managed to remain pretty resilient far into the season. And I know for a fact I'm not alone here because I witnessed it firsthand yesterday while taking in the game with some friends who expressed a comparable level of disengagement and a notable lack of rage. And to be clear, we're not talking casual Browns fans here. We're talking lifers with legit Browns fan pedigree and experience, including these 3 gentlemen. Longtime season ticket holders Mike Polk-Jr. and Mikey Mac McIntyre, and Buddy Shaw, who covered the Browns for the Plain Dealers for nearly 30 years. These are all men who were at one point so invested in their football team that their performance on a Sunday would dictate their respective moods for at least the earlier portion of their work week. But yesterday, that lousy game was nearly an afterthought. A good excuse to get together, but certainly nothing to slow down the conversation or mess up a good time. But I gotta tell you, part of me misses the hurt. Hurting means you care, and I'll take that over nothing any day. Now my hope is that this team can figure out how to make me care enough to hurt again. Luckily, they do have time. The only Halloween decorations up on my street right now are on the trashy houses that never took them down from last year, which means the season is still very young. Keep the faith, Cleveland, and go Guardians.
Oh, I love the way he ended it. It's so strange that he said that because when we start the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show every Monday, we do this little quick round robin, like fast thoughts. And my very first thought was, I didn't feel anything when the game was over. I didn't even really feel much while they were handing it off to the Raiders.
Right.
And I said exactly what Mike said. I said, apathy is the worst thing that you can have with a fan base. And I know for sure I'm not alone because Mike's there with me and all the people he watched the game with. When it was over, I was just like, okay, that's that. Let's watch the 4 o'clock or the 7 o'clock game, the 8 o'clock game.
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned it off and walked away and went and did dishes or whatever. I mean, what do you
It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, maybe next week, whatever. Okay, fine.
Unreal.
I'll still have buffalo chicken dip. No worries.
That's why Betsy watches football.
Pretty much it.
For the chicken dip.